What's going on, Sip Sip? I'm still talking about these groups now. I'm gonna talk about these groups because that's what my daddy, I grew up with this. So I understand the groups. I know who they are. I can spot them. I could talk to a person for about 2 minutes and ask certain questions and figure out what group you in. You understand? Sometimes if you try to watch and look, you can't tell. So a group one. So let's start with group one. So a group one person is a person that, and this is not based on educational level or financial means. It is based on financial means to a degree, but it's not necessarily based on financial means, because you can work your way through that. But it's based on how you carry yourself, what you like, what you do, how you treat others, and that type of thing. So group one people typically are your people that have high baccalaureate degrees. They're doctors, they're lawyers, they're engineers. They basically like exclusive stuff, so they live in your nicer neighborhoods. You understand what I'm saying? Back in the day, they would move to the suburbs. They had the nice paying jobs at the Exxon, at the those type of places. They were driving the fancy cars. They like exclusive stuff. They don't want to have everything that everybody has, because they value, first of all, they value education over entertainment. You understand? Education is important to them. Not that entertainment is not, but in the scale, education is over entertainment. They like quality over quantity. So if you can get, 3 pair of pants for $100, basically if the pants are $30 each, let's just say the regular pants, but then you have a higher quality pant that's say $75, and it'll last you, but the quality is better, the fabric, the denim is much stronger, the zipper is better. The group one person would rather buy the $70 pair of jeans or pants as opposed to spending, getting 3 of them. So that's the stuff they like. They like exclusive neighborhoods. They like exclusive restaurants. They like exclusive clubs. So group ones, again, do what they want to do when they want to do it. That's because their lifestyle and their profession lends that. So, a group one to take, 2 weeks to go on vacation for 2 weeks. Whereas your regular person or your other groups, they may only have a week to go on vacation, or 3 or 4 days, because they got to split it up. You understand what I'm saying? So, your group one they just don't like to be around a lot of people. If a group one friend does something for you, they're not going to go and tell everybody else that they did it. You understand what I'm saying? So that's group ones. They like the night, they like the finer things in life. They take the time, they appreciate where they are. They appreciate their friends, they appreciate the time spent. They like they work hard, but they play hard too. They like to relax. They value and they enjoy the things that money can't buy. They like the parks. They like going for walks in the parks. They like going to the lake. They like hanging out in the, in the woods, in the trees, taking their shoes off and just enjoying what nature is giving them. They like the things around them. They take time for themselves. They like reading. They like listening to music. The jazz music. They not gonna be typically they won't be where there are a lot of people. That's why you see them sitting up in the boxes. Because there's everybody not around. They value their space. They're giving people. They're thoughtful people, but they are serious, and they're intentional with their movements and the things that they do. They have goals. You understand what I'm saying? They have a purpose. Most of them have discovered their purpose in life. They do things to help humanity. They don't mind giving back. You know, not that this is the only thing that defines them, but these are the traits that you will find in your Group 1 people. You know, they're very thoughtful. Most of the time they'll treat, well, not all the time, but they treat people with respect. Not all, I'm not gonna say they do it all the time, but most of your Group 1s treat everybody with respect because they understand that what they put out is gonna come back to them. You understand what I'm saying? They don't mind, you know, they're not pushovers. Don't get me wrong. They're not pushovers, but they like hard work. They can determine a person that's working hard or doing something, you know, or going somewhere. Not when I say going somewhere, a person that has a purpose. They don't mind doing for that type of person. They're not gonna just give you just because they see you lacking, because there are a lot of people lacking and sitting around on the couch. So a Group 1 ain't just, they don't throw good money after bad money. You understand what I'm saying? They just don't, they're not superheroes, but they are intentional with what they do. So they're very supportive. So you may know somebody like this. You may be a Group 1 person. You know, you don't want, Group 1s don't like to see everybody with the things that they have. You understand what I'm saying? So if you know a Group 1 person, let me hear a comment. Let me hear some of the things that you, if you can identify somebody in your life, or if you are a Group 1, put something in the comments to let me know that you are a Group 1, or maybe add to this dialogue that I'm having with the screen as I drive. So let me know. Are you a Group 1? Do you know a Group 1? What group do you think you are? Check back, because I'm finna talk about the next groups. All right, sip.